Hello guys, this is your Dallas Guru, and today I'm going to talk about my experience living in a high-rise downtown Dallas, Texas, specifically AMLI Fountain Place. So this building is iconic. Oh my gosh, I feel like it pierces the sky. They have two buildings. So they have the corporate building and then they have the residences. And I got the wonderful opportunity to live inside of the residences for 6 months. I only did a 6-month lease because it was kind of like a dream of mine. The best way I can describe it is a fetish. You know when you have a fetish, like, you know what? I've always wanted to live in a penthouse. I've always wanted to live in a high rise. Let me just get this out of my system. I got it out of my system, and I'm here to lead the way to anyone else who is thinking about living in a high rise downtown Dallas, Texas, the things to look for and the things to look out for. So let's begin. First off, I was in between two units. The first unit was extremely beautiful. I love the way that I could see the city views when I'm getting ready and when I would get ready in the morning. So that unit was very cute, but it was small. The next unit was a lot bigger. I didn't like the bathroom. The bathroom was close to the door, like the entryway door, but it was huge. It had a lot of closet space, and it had some type of like privacy in my bedroom to where, like, say for instance, if I'm walking around in my pajamas, you can't use like a telescope or whatever to see what I'm doing because it's not like all the way, it's kind of like enclosed and it's not like a fully floor to ceiling window. So I decided to go big or go home. I decided to get the largest 1-bedroom they had. I decided to get the one that was actually on their website when you first go on the website, because I was like, you know what, I deserve it, let's do it. So they had that same exact unit on a floor that was like 2 floors down, and it was like $2,800 or $2,900 a month, and it was saving me $200 a month. So I was like, oh, let me just lease the one that was $200 a month cheaper. It's just 2 floors down, so it's still like high, it's still a good view. I really wish I wouldn't have done that. Whew. For so many reasons. Number one, the first day I moved in, the unit was funky. You know when you walk like in a hotel, I don't even want to say a hotel, like a motel, and it's carpet and it just smells like funky no matter how much they try to clean it or, you know, spray something, it's just funky. It's like embedded. So the unit that I moved in, there was literally absolutely no carpet, all laminated hardwood flooring. It was funky, like there was carpet in there. So I didn't know if it was coming from the air ducts or from my neighbor that was across the hall because he was elderly. But I was like, why does this unit smell like that? So I immediately called maintenance because I didn't want to live there. I'm like, I'm not about to be paying $3,000 a month for an apartment that smells like this. But they guaranteed, they was like, oh, this apartment has been sitting. Whenever you run your water, in a couple of days it'll go away. And you can also buy those plugins. They work really well in these apartments. It's gonna go away. So a couple of months, not a couple of months, but a couple of days, I ran the water. The smell really never went anywhere, but I would like to say I'm very hygienic myself, so I knew how to get the smell out myself. I just kept my air on high, and I went to Bath & Body Works and I bought some plugins, and I kept my house kind of clean. So whenever I would invite guests over, they never mentioned anything. They always said, oh, it smells delicious in here. It smells so good in here. But whenever I would leave my unit, if I would turn off my air seat or if I would unplug the plugins, the smell will come back. So make sure the unit that you're going to live in, if you're living in a high rise and you're paying top dollar, make sure you have toured that exact unit. Do not move into a unit that you have not toured, went in, smelled, and touched. Don't do that. Don't do the mistake that I made. Okay. Now, as far as the amenities. So the amenities at AMLI Fountain Place, I would say, are top notch, top tier. They have everything from weights, Stairmaster. They even put in a Pilates, what do you call that? A Pilates machine. and it's in its own separate room. So I feel like the amenities was amazing, and the view while you're using your amenities makes it even better. That was worth the money. So if we're making a list about the things that are worth the money, that was worth the money. The views at AMLI Fountain Place, I would say they're probably one of the best. They have the best views. Even in their, they have like a sky lounge on the highest floor. So the sky lounge was amazing. No one's ever really up there. So if you wanted to go up there and study, have some coffee, do a mat workout, it's beautiful. I think they even have a kitchen up there. You can make yourself breakfast if you're really about that life, but I'm not about that life. I don't like it. I don't like strangers having access to walk up on me while I'm doing something like making breakfast, you know. But if you're with your friends and you're cooking and you're possibly doing a cooking show and recording it, that the area that they have on the 45th floor was perfect for that. Sometimes I was overstimulated by the views. So like sometimes I would just want to relax, light a candle, read a book, but it's very hard to stay focused on your book when you have the highway beneath you and you have lights, camera, action. And then I moved there when it was the World Cup. So like I heard people celebrating, waving flags, you know, but I was just grateful to experience it. But some of the stuff I was just like, I'm so glad I'm not here for a full year because I value peace. Like, yes, I'm all about the lights, camera, and action, but I also value peace. I'm like, I want something to where I can wake up to view trees and nature and have the birds chirping. Where I am now, oh my God, it's so peaceful and I have it. But like I said, I just wanted to experience that and get it out of the way. So the views that I had, like I said, they were wonderful. Every time I would invite anyone over, they were amazed. They were like, wow. Even I was amazed when I toured. So I knew other people were going to be amazed. But after a while, I did get a little overstimulated. Yeah, if that's the word for it. Have I discussed rent prices? I think I did, yeah. So like overall with the taxes and stuff added, I paid around like $3,200 a month. I did not have a light bill, so I didn't have to set up any electricity. That was good. But they did add it onto the rent. And safety, I feel like overall it was safety. Like I never had any issues with like the gate being broken. Also, before I moved in, someone left a comment about like the windows or something being shot out. So I faked it when I still moved in, but I kept myself prayed up. So to protect me from little weird stuff, like whenever I would go into the garage, if I seen someone tailgate behind me into my garage, then I would just be like, let me park real quick and see what this car behind me does, you know, because some people, they were tailgating inside of the garage, but I mean, it's downtown, so you got people that's trying to go to the American Airlines for their concerts, and parking probably was like $40 to park. So if they could tailgate and park for free, hey, why not? When you're making your choice on where to live in Dallas when it comes to a high rise, I know a lot of people, they bagger within like downtown or uptown. That's what I did. So I was thinking about moving uptown because I've always wanted to live uptown. When the decision came, it was between an uptown high rise and a downtown high rise, but I chose the downtown high rise because the views was just, to be honest, undeniable. And then we'll talk about customer service, living at AMLI Fountain Place, then we'll wrap it up. On a scale from 1 to 10, I would say customer service, I would say a 7. Simply because like I never felt comfortable putting in maintenance requests because I didn't want maintenance inside of my home, simply because I saw the maintenance team and I saw some of the maintenance workers living in units and how they tried to like fake their lifestyle. I was just like, you mop the floors, you work here, like why are you acting like, you know? I just saw a lot of stuff. Let me just keep it to myself because yeah. But I never felt comfortable allowing maintenance inside of my home. So like anything that I needed to be fixed, whether it was my washer and dryer, I fixed it myself. I got on YouTube and typed in how to fix it, or I just used my brain to fix it myself because I'm like, nope, they're not coming in here. Not for the next 6 months, not until my lease is up. They not coming in here. As far as customer service from the leasing office, I really didn't like to, like, after I signed my lease and after I moved into a funky unit, I really didn't want anything to do with the leasing office. So if it wasn't about like my mail or my concierge or like any of my packages being delivered or me trying to locate my packages, then I really didn't have any contact with them whatsoever. And I didn't want any contact with them because it was just like, ugh, I don't know. People nowadays, you gotta kind of deal with them with a long-handed spoon. But like, even when I moved out, I didn't contact with them. Like, I left my key on the, of course, I did contact the property manager. I think her name was Shayla or something like that. I don't know. She was cool. And I just let her know, like, hey girl, I found a new place, so I'll be leaving within the next month or so. And, you know, I just left and on to the next. But yes, that's my experience living in a high rise. Like I said, I wouldn't sign anything any more than a 6-month lease, because why would you pay $3,000 for a penthouse or whatever when you can buy a home or you can start a business? So we just want to be financially savvy, all while living our dreams. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you all on the next video. Toodles.